Merci. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think there's bets out there for how long I'm going to speak. So the quicker you sit down, the better chance I have at beating the target. Thank you, everyone. What an incredible looking crowd. I think it's been said repeatedly by the presenters so far, but it bears repeating. More than 500 people, 516 people here tonight, the largest level since we got rid of corporate donations. So, congratulations and thank you very much. Merci énormément. I think this is in part because we have such an excellent team in Moncton. It is a great stronghold for our party with phenomenal MLAs from all different parts of the region and the city who are working really hard to fill a room like this, but to deliver the kind of service that earns us the opportunity to have you come out and support our work. Alors, merci énormément pour ce soutien. Je pense qu'il y a aussi plusieurs personnes spéciales. Uh-oh, mais j'ai oublié mon petite carte. Okay, I'm going to challenge myself on this one because my colleagues wrote a little card for me of all the new mayors that are in the room. And I think there are a number of new mayors. So maybe oh, look, Vanessa. What a great team I have. I'm so lucky. OK, il y a plusieurs. Alors, je vais reconnaître Patricia Bourque-Chevary, la nouvelle mairesse de Shediac. Est-ce qu'elle est ici? Patricia? Ah, voilà. Daniel Dugas, du Beau-Rivage. Je l'ai vu ici dans le coin. Excellent. Véronique Arsenault de Miramichi. Oui, Véronique. Excellent. Hélène Boudreau de Dieppe. Et voilà, Hélène. Bonjour. Je pense qu'on a aussi Cathy Paulin de Haute-Terre. Hey, Cathy! Mon ancien coin. Puis je pense qu'on a aussi des maires du moment, Maxime Bourgeois de Memramcook. Il est ici, Maxime. Voilà. Aldéo, oui, on a Aldéo Saunier ici qui est de Boctouche. Voilà. Puis Éric de Kedgewick, je l'ai vu. Éric dans ce coin, OK. Excellent. Et je pense qu'on a aussi l'ancien maire de Dieppe, M. Yvon Lapierre. Merci pour votre service. Merci, Yvon. Il y a aussi plusieurs conseillères, lots of municipal councillors and others. And so I like to take a minute to call out and recognize people who have put themselves forward for public service, particularly at the municipal level, because you are right in front of it with New Brunswickers. So you're doing that closest level of public service, and it is greatly appreciated. And I'm glad, I think it's Dieppe that pushed their swearing in out to tomorrow so that you could all be here tonight. Very much appreciated. Congratulations to all of our newly elected municipal politicians. I also have to recognize the incredible team that makes this possible. The president of the New Brunswick Liberal Association, Carly Parrish. She does a phenomenal job for us leading the organization and the team. And she called out, but I'll add my thanks to Hannah and Sonia and the team at the MBLA, a lot of people behind the scenes, different members of our team, making tonight run so smoothly. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you to the team. Hannah is now breathing a sigh of relief and going to heading towards. Okay, so I want to give you a bit of a rundown of what you can expect to hear tonight. I'm going to start off, maybe not surprisingly, with some accomplishments, a bit of a review of the things that we have done since the last Leaders' Dinner. Is there anyone in the room who was here in St. John? Well, wasn't here, who was in St. John for last year's Leaders' Dinner? Okay, see some folks. Excellent. Anybody who was in Fredericton in 2024? Okay, a couple. Anybody who was here in Moncton in 2023? Okay, wow. Anybody who was at all three of those previous events? Oh, wow. Okay, ouais, Jacques, okay. Excellent. Mais on a fait beaucoup de choses dans les derniers 375 jours. 65 jours depuis le dernier souper du chef. Alors, moi, je vais faire un petit aperçu de tous les accomplissements. Ben, pas toutes. On serait ici trop long. I will cover some of the accomplishments of the last 12 months. And then, as some of you may know, I like to do my speeches guided by 3 letters. So tonight, the letters are PPT. Now, that doesn't mean that there's going to be a PowerPoint presentation because we like the screens and the video. But what I'm going to talk about is progress in healthcare, our plan for economic growth, and our team, and how this team approach is making a difference in New Brunswick. En français, on va dire c'est PPE. Alors, le progrès en santé, notre plan de croissance économique et notre équipe, l'approche d'équipe qui est quelque chose de tellement important pour notre travail. Alors, vous pouvez faire le suivi, les accomplissements, la santé, l'économie et l'équipe. Et là, on va être à la fin, puis on peut tous aller s'amuser au casino quelque part. Okay, so let's start with the accomplishments. Last time when we were in St. John, this time last year, we had been on the job for 200 days. But our government had hit the ground running. So we had lots to talk to you about in terms of the moves that we made right away on nurse retention to stabilize the healthcare system, rapid moves and affordability measures to try to make life more affordable for New Brunswickers, and active steps that we took on housing to drive housing growth in New Brunswick. Now we're 575 days into the job, and what we have done since the last Leaders' Dinner is put a universal breakfast program in every school in the province. We have established new tax agreements with 14 First Nations in New Brunswick, a critical and necessary step. We undertook property tax reform, starting off with the freezing of assessments last year, and now we have a reform that's about to pass in the legislature that will mean that when your assessments go up, the tax rates will come down to make life more affordable for New Brunswickers and for homeowners. That's a big piece of work, and I've simplified it, but there was an incredible amount of work that Minister Kennedy, where's Minister Kennedy? Aaron? Over here, yes, incredible amount of work by Aaron and his team consulting to find ways that we could make more stable, more predictable, more transparent, one of the biggest bills that New Brunswickers pay every year. So we're very excited for folks to be able to celebrate when the value of their house goes up, knowing that the rate is going to come down so that they don't experience the kind of spikes in property taxes in the future. We also took 10 cents off of gas. We signed an agreement with the federal government for 1,200 housing units, $300 million with Build Canada Homes. We put in place, sure, I'll take that. We put in place changes to the small business investor tax credit that makes New Brunswick the most attractive place to invest in small businesses and startups in the country. C'est quelque chose vraiment important. Et on travaille en continu. Je peux parler de tellement de choses qu'on a fait dans l'année dernière, mais je vais vraiment parler du futur. I want to talk to you specifically about healthcare, and then I want to talk to you about the future of our economy and where we're going from here. And you'll catch the greatest hits reels out there as we continue to celebrate the incredible work of this team. But now I want to talk about where we're going in the future. New Brunswickers told us that healthcare was their number one priority. And it is our government's number one priority, because if you don't have access to healthcare, nothing else matters at a time when you or your loved one really needs it. So we set out on day one, we articulated a clear vision for New Brunswick's healthcare system. We wanted people to have access to healthcare close to home, delivered by the right person at the right time. And we knew we had to do that by caring for the people who care for us. On savait que c'était un travail complexe, mais on doit commencer le travail aussi vite que possible. Alors, on a pris chapeau en roue, puis on a commencé à travailler avec les relations avec les professionnels en santé. La première chose qu'on a fait, on a reconstruit les relations importantes avec les personnes qui prennent soin de nous autres. Those relationships were critical, and that's where we started. We signed new and solid contracts with nurses, with doctors, now with medical science professionals and paramedics, and with all of the people who are delivering care to New Brunswickers to make sure that they are being fairly compensated, that they knew they were supported in their work, because there is much change ahead. So we kicked that off, And then we move to transforming the delivery model of primary care, because we can't keep on having single-family doctor practices that when that doctor retires, thousands of people are left without care. On a changé le modèle de soins primaires à un modèle collaboratif. On veut du monde qui travaille en équipe pour prendre soin de nous autres. Alors ça, c'est un travail où on a promis, dans notre première année, de créer 10 cliniques de soins. And instead of 10, we created 11 in our first year on the job. I'll take that. Merci. We promised 30 of these collaborative care clinics across our mandate. And here, 18 months in, we've just opened our 16th collaborative care clinic, more than halfway to the goal that we need to get at, and we are not slowing down. These collaborative care clinics are truly making progress in our healthcare system because they are taking people off the list for care. Those 16 clinics that I talked about, that means 18,000 New Brunswickers will now be attached to a team of nurse practitioners, family doctors, allied health professionals who are going to care for them. And that means that when a doctor retires, those people won't be left back on the list. They will be supported by a team. Alors, on peut respirer peut-être en savoir qu'on est partie d'une équipe. On a du monde qui va soigner à nous autres, n'importe s'il y a un congé maternel ou si quelqu'un veut prendre leur retraite. Ces équipes collaboratives, ça va stabiliser notre système de santé, puis ça va dire des soins préventatifs primaires en communauté. C'est un changement majeur. Et notre gouvernement l'a fait avec un contrat incroyable avec les médecins, avec un changement de comment on travaille avec les régies de santé. We're introducing flexibility into the system with Horizon, with Vitalité, where healthcare professionals can choose how they want to practice, and that means they're going to choose to practice in New Brunswick. And just so you have some validation for this, we've had the chance to get feedback from doctors. I was just in St. Andrews on the weekend, and Dr. Jean-Pierre Arsenault got up to the microphone. He's a doctor at the Nipisiguit Clinic in Bathurst, not quite my old riding, Renée's riding. But Jean-Pierre got up and il a partagé que lui, maintenant, il sentait avant que, comment est-ce qu'on dit ça, qu'il se noyait. He was drowning, is that how we say that? Il sentait qu'il se noyait dans le système avec les besoins, les patients. Et maintenant, avec le support qu'on donne aux cliniques collaboratives, il peut respirer. Et pas seulement qu'il peut respirer, il nous dit qu'il prend un nouvel patient par jour. Et son clinique va ajouter 1,000 patients cette année. He's telling me he wants to practice longer. He's re-energized. He feels supported by our government because we've given him and his team the tools to care for you. And Dr. Arsenault's not the only one. We were in Perth Andover with Dr. Allison Kennedy, who had been feeling like there really wasn't hope. As he was worried about closing his practice, he wanted to retire. He didn't want to leave his patients in the lurch. But when our team came in and said, we're going to support a collaborative model and provide you with the administrative support, with the technology, with the team of healthcare professionals that you need, now Allison tells us that he sees hope. Not only does he see hope, he doesn't want to retire anymore. So he's going to work a couple days a week and he's going to have a smooth transition into retirement because he knows every single one of his patients is going to be cared for and his clinic is adding more patients today. And so with Jean-Pierre Arsenault's testimonial, with Allison Kennedy's testimonial, what we're hearing from nurses, we opened a nurse practitioner clinic here in Moncton on Mapleton. 3 incredible nurse practitioners, Morgan, Annette, and Nancy. Look, my incredible team, holy cow. Morgan, Annette, and Nancy, all working together as nurse practitioners, taking people off the wait list, adding in a social worker, a respiratory therapist. And those folks are saying, you know what, when a patient comes to see me, I can send them next door if what they need is that social worker to help them navigate through the system. If they're trying to quit smoking, they're going to go to the respiratory therapist, and that's going to save the nurse practitioner time in order to care for you. And so we're making the changes to the model that is delivering for us progress in healthcare. And that's what we're looking for. We want to take the pressure off of the ERs. On veut enlever cette pression de nos salles d'urgence. Alors ça, c'est un travail à chaque jour qu'on fait pour voir ce progrès. On fait le recrutement, la rétention de nos professionnels de soins. Et quand on est soigné dans la communauté, on évite de se trouver dans la salle d'urgence. Alors ça aide pour les cas extrêmes. That's not the only thing we've done. In the last year, thanks to some people in this room, we have officially broken ground on the creation of 240 new long-term care beds. That's going to make a difference in the pressure on our hospitals. We have also had our best recruitment year ever. We added net new 67 more doctors to New Brunswick and net new 469 more nurses. The work that we are doing to build relationships, on crée un environnement où les professionnels de santé veulent venir et veulent rester. On a fait un nouveau programme d'évaluation de les compétences à l'international, the Practice Ready Assessment Program. We've had 2 cohorts graduate from that program. We're going to have 20 more new graduates this year. And these are doctors who are experienced and trained elsewhere, who are coming into our province, and who are now able to deliver care to New Brunswickers in a way that reflects our population. Because we're getting more diverse. Puis avoir des professionnels en santé qui nous ressemblent pour aller à une clinique et voir une équipe et trouver quelqu'un qui peut-être peut parler votre langue, qui va venir du pays que vous venez, ça fait une différence. Ça nous rend comme une province avec un accueil et un vivre chez soi qui est vraiment important. So that PRA program is a gem in helping us add trained and experienced doctors to our system. We are investing in technology. Okay, yes, we got some people who love the PRA program. And last but not least, we are investing heavily in technology because we can't really train or hire doctors fast enough to deal with all of the New Brunswickers that need to get attached to care. So we are investing in electronic medical records, in AI, in clinic, in a clinical information system across the acute care world that will mean that when you need care, the person who is caring for you is going to have your information at their fingertips. Ils vont avoir pouvoir de vous rendre un soin plus efficace, meilleur, et peut-être ils n'ont pas même besoin de vous soigner. Avec cette information, on peut trouver la bonne personne à la bonne place, et quand on rend le système plus efficace, on peut attacher plus de patients. So with this major investment in technology, that's going to give us the ability to attach more patients to clinics where our nurse practitioners and doctors are practicing, because the technology frees them up to do the face-to-face work of caring for you. That's progress in healthcare. Now, on fait des investissements majeurs dans le système de santé. Clairement, ça coûte cher si on veut des nouveaux lits de soins. Dans les foyers, on a besoin de plus en plus de médecins. On a besoin de créer des cliniques et supporter la technologie. C'est des investissements gros. And so we need a robust economy to help support these healthcare investments. And that's the part that I want to talk to you about next, because we have put forward an ambitious plan to grow New Brunswick's economy by 10% GDP increase over the next 4 years. That is a lofty goal, and it's intentional, because nothing motivates me like a high target. Everyone in this room probably knows I'm competitive. J'aime avoir un objectif à atteindre, et je pense qu'un bon objectif, ça nous pousse à faire de plus qu'on peut imaginer. Mais ce n'est pas un objectif qui n'est pas réaliste, à cause du fait que le Nouveau-Brunswick, on a ce que le monde a besoin. Puis à ce moment, on a beaucoup de choses à offrir nos voisins et les pays et les clients autour du monde à cause de nos forces et nos atouts. This past year has been economically challenging. And the road ahead, no question, it still looks bumpy. We have a challenging relationship with our largest trading partner. Trump continues to wreak havoc economically, and it is impossible to predict what he's going to do next, no matter the incredible team that we have trying to negotiate the best possible trade agreement. The conditions are uncertain, and that means we have to use every advantage we have to grow our economy, and we have to do it in new ways and with new people. And so we're putting our shoulder to the wheel. We launched this ambitious growth plan just a number of weeks ago, and it laid out 3 specific goals to grow our economy. We are going to attract investment into New Brunswick businesses. We are going to support those businesses in becoming more productive, qu'ils choisissent des technologies de productivité, d'automation. OK, one or the other. Je peux entendre clairement exactement la réponse. Dans les informations, les solutions informatiques pour les business de se rendre plus productifs et on va les aider à attirer, de trouver de nouveaux clients. De nouveaux clients ici au Canada, de nouveaux clients dans d'autres pays du monde. We are going to help our businesses find new customers and grow their bottom lines, grow their top lines, and help them grow their ability to pay New Brunswickers great wages that respond to the cost of living today. We're focused on our natural resources. One of the things that the world knows that New Brunswick does best. We are well known for our incredible food and fish and forestry, and those industries have built this province, and they are innovating and driving value-added products and solutions that the world wants. We know we have the best fish in the world, the best blueberries, the best potatoes, the best apples, and there are people all over the world that want them. And thanks to our incredible ports and our infrastructure partners and our airports, we are getting New Brunswick's world-class natural resource products to everyone everywhere who wants them. And with that focus on growing that agriculture and aquaculture sector, we're going to see $1 billion more of GDP impact from that sector in the next 5 years. Puis ça, c'est une croissance importante. On voit aussi des opportunités pour faire de la croissance dans le secteur, je vais parler un petit peu de le secteur de tourisme parce qu'on a notre ministre de tourisme ici, Isabelle, puis elle a un plan aussi audacieux qui prévu une croissance d'un autre $1 milliard de revenus parce qu'on attire du monde à investir dans notre province avec leur participation. We are going to attract more tourists. We are going to focus on our assets and see $1 billion growth in our tourism sector. Other opportunities that we see in leveraging our natural resources, well, for those of you who were here in St. John, not here, keep saying here, who were at the Leaders' Dinner in St. John, you would have heard me list off the 21 critical minerals that New Brunswick has beneath our feet. Well, less than a year later, we have launched a critical minerals strategy to great acclaim at the Prospectors and Developers Conference. We have the most modern mineral act that's about to achieve royal assent in the legislature in the next few weeks. We have a minister, Heron, somewhere in the room, who is driving opportunities. There he is. Driving opportunities to attract investment in our assets. And we have 4 mining assets. You're going to hear about them a lot in the years ahead. The Caribou Mine, Lake George, Mount Pleasant, and our major project of national interest, Sisson Mine, that are going to be moving in the next months. That means trucks on the roads. That means people working at the mine site. That means taking the resources that are in this province and turning them into an incredible value for New Brunswickers as they contribute to this critical moment in time where we need these minerals for defense applications. We need these minerals pour les batteries, pour les panneaux solaires, pour la technologie qui nous supporte. Ils ont une valeur incroyable et nous avons des ressources et les compétences pour réaliser leur impact économique. Alors, on prévu un autre $1 milliard de retombées de nos investissements, notre travail dans le secteur minier dans les prochaines 5 années. Alors, un autre grand impact sur notre économie avec nos potentiels dans les minéraux critiques. Now, I've talked quite a bit about our natural resources, but one of New Brunswick's best resources is our people. Nous avons du monde ici qui sont des innovateurs, des innovatrices, qui ont des belles idées, puis on a un secteur en pleine croissance de l'économie d'information. Puis c'est la prochaine génération de ce secteur dans le Nouveau-Brunswick. On savait qu'on a créé des nouvelles compagnies une décennie passée, et maintenant on voit que ça augmente. Le Nouveau-Brunswick est un leader maintenant dans la cybersécurité. We are home to the Canadian Institute for Cybersecurity. We are growing companies in the cyberspace. Here in Moncton, at l'Université de Moncton, we have a center for AI that includes the leading AI researcher in the world. On a les compétences et les personnes qui peuvent faire des choses. Yeah, he's doing great work and he has a whole team surrounding him. Mais cette compétence, on l'applique dans notre secteur industriel. Oui, on a aussi des compagnies ici dans la manufacturier qui fait des choses incroyables. Our advanced manufacturing sector in New Brunswick is full of the kind of smarts and people who are deploying new ways of using materials and new ways of serving customers that sees our manufacturers contributing to major projects across this country and across the world. I'm going to talk about a couple of them in a few minutes. We have a health tech sector and creative industries that are using New Brunswick's knowledge and New Brunswick's human capital to create value that means good paying jobs here at home and our stories and products being told around the world. J'ai beaucoup d'optimistes pour l'impact de notre secteur d'information et de capacité humaine dans les prochaines années. The last one I want to touch on from an economic perspective is defense. New Brunswick is where Canada's military is made. And actually, when I'm out talking to folks in the defense sector, they say to me that New Brunswick is the home of the Canadian Army. That's how they experience it. Wherever I am in Canada, I run into someone who's been through Base Gagetown, who started their military career here in New Brunswick. Ils comprennent notre province parce qu'ils ont un attachement au fait que nous autres, on a formé le militaire pour notre pays. We have deep expertise in training in the military. We have expertise in ground-based air defense. We have expertise now with our cybersecurity expertise being applied to cyber defense solutions. Some of you might have seen a company called Last Wall Solutions just closed a $15 million Series A round with investment from NBIF, from BDC, and from many other private capital investors because of the cybersecurity and cyber defense solution they built here in New Brunswick. On a une opportunité incroyable de créer le soldat du futur. Et ça, c'est qu'est-ce que le Nouveau-Brunswick va faire. On va contribuer à notre pays avec une modernisation dans notre secteur de défense pour créer ce soldat du futur et on va recevoir un investissement de plus qu'1 milliard de dollars ici au Nouveau-Brunswick dans les prochaines années pour moderniser et améliorer notre impact dans le secteur de défense au Canada. Clearly, the federal government is all in on defense investment, and New Brunswick is going to seize every opportunity to attract that investment here, where we have more people working in the defense sector per capita than any other province in Canada. Folks don't realize that, but again, we have incredible manufacturers like Apex here in Moncton. Some of you may have seen are making an $11 million investment in expanding and creating a new facility with robotics and automation to deliver on new defense contracts. They're doing that with Marshall Land Systems, with Do Engineering out of the Miramichi. And we're out talking to companies like General Dynamics, like BAE, like Hanwha, like ThyssenKrupp, who are in line for the submarine contract because they want to use New Brunswick companies as part of their solution for our country and for the world. New Brunswick has the companies that are going to seize this opportunity, and our government is going to support our continued outsized contribution to Canada's defense. So, to summarize, we have been delivering for you progress in healthcare. I wish it were faster, I wish it were farther, but our government has taken the steps to rebuild relationships, to change the model of care, to recruit like we've never seen before, and to deliver the technology and supports that means that healthcare professionals today are attaching patients in New Brunswick, and we are going to continue that progress in healthcare for you. We are building a bold new economy that is going to provide good paying jobs to New Brunswickers so that they can stay here and raise their families here. And it's going to deliver the kind of growth that will support our healthcare investments. Les deux choses qui vont ensemble. On doit travailler pour vous servir et prendre soin de vous autres et on doit travailler pour une croissance économique qui va nous aider à payer les factures chez soi et les factures du gouvernement de Nouveau-Brunswick. This is an excellent opportunity for New Brunswick, and I would invite all of you to share the news because we have laid the foundation. We have put the accountability measures in place, and trust me when I say we are counting and we are looking for those results and we are measuring month after month, quarter after quarter to make sure that where we are investing is delivering results for you. Mais le Nouveau-Brunswick, nous sommes plein d'opportunités. Et je veux que vous passiez le message que ceci, c'est une excellente place à investir. Ceci, c'est une excellente place à venir pour votre carrière en médecine ou en santé. On attire de l'investissement, on attire des professionnels qui veulent avoir leur carrière en soins ici. We are attracting investment, we are attracting people. And this small but mighty province, we are going to make progress towards the bright future that you and your loved ones and the next generation deserves. I want to take this moment to ask my team members and MLAs if they could start coming up to the stage, please. And while they do that, I want to share with you a little story. A couple months ago, I was in France for a trade mission, and we held a reception, and a gentleman came up to me who was from Béni-sur-Mer. I'm not sure how many of you are aware, but he came up to me to share with me that the New Brunswick North Shore Regiment liberated the people of Béni-sur-Mer on D-Day in 1966. And 80 years later, il était tellement reconnaissant encore de le sacrifice du Nouveau-Brunswick, il m'a présenté un cadeau. He gave me an incredible challenge coin with Béni-sur-Mer and the 80th anniversary of the liberation by New Brunswick soldiers. He even gave me 3 little souvenir coins, one for each of my daughters. Le Nouveau-Brunswick s'est toujours battu pour le Canada. New Brunswick has always fought for Canada. And we will always fight for Canada. We were there at the very beginning, on day one, in 1867, when our great nation was formed, New Brunswick was there. And we were there in 1966, when we needed to fight for the country. On était là en Nouveau-Brunswick. On était là pour défendre le Canada. For the last year, this team New Brunswick, has stood shoulder to shoulder with their counterparts across the country. We have stood shoulder to shoulder with our partners across the provinces, across the territories, as we face the rupture of our relationship with the US. We have done the work to support this country's growth as we move into becoming a middle power of significance. And we have traveled, whether that be to India or Belgium or France or beyond, and done the work here at home to make sure that we have a strong and united country. Alors, à ce moment, je vous présente une équipe incroyable de Néo-Brunswickois, une équipe Nouveau-Brunswick qui est passionnée, qui est fière de leur province, fière de leur pays. Moi, je suis fière de cette équipe incroyable. Team New Brunswick is being called upon again to defend Canada, to show our love for our country, to show our love for our neighbors in Quebec and in Alberta. And New Brunswick was there at the beginning in 1867. We were there in 1966, and New Brunswick will be there in 2066 to defend Canada. Nous sommes la place où le militaire a été formé. New Brunswick is where Canada's military was made. We are a great neighbor. We are a great friend. Now is the time to show our love, our pride, and our unity. And so I want to invite all of you to join Team New Brunswick at this moment. On a besoin de vous. On veut que vous joigniez à nous comme une équipe de Nouveau-Brunswick, parce que à ce moment, cette équipe de Nouveau-Brunswick doit se joindre à l'équipe du Canada. Team New Brunswick is going to join Team Canada, and together we will fight with true patriot love for a Canada strong, our true north, strong and free. With this team, with everyone in this room, Team Canada will be here to defend New Brunswick and Canada for the future avec vous autres. Merci beaucoup.